Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another episode of Why We Like Lidl So Much. Some of us love Lidl. I'm going to look up something. I want a lot of you marketing guys will know what this means, and gals, and whatever your pronouns are. Let me know in the text, the comments, I reckon. A loss leader. So when I shop at Lidl, what is a loss leader? There we go, loss leader strategy. Let's see what this says. Selling a product or service at a price that is unprofitable, but attracts new customers or encourages them to buy additional products or services. Loss leader strategy. Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. I believe Lidl utilizes a loss leader strategy on this loaf of bread. Their loaf of bread, it's like $2-3. It keeps moving around with inflation, but it's under $5. But the label on this thing is amazing. I've been a breadaholic my entire life. This is a 12-grain bread, and I love the taste, the flavor. There's no corn syrup, no high fructose corn syrup in it. 15 whole grains per serving, no hydrogenated oils. And the only downside of this bread, is that because it doesn't have a bunch of preservatives, it will spoil reasonably fast. Now, I live in an old house in the country, so arguably, I suppose breads are prone to spoilage. That's my only complaint about this, but as long as I eat it at a pace, I don't have any trouble. Now, you're obviously saying, well, Paul, if you're going to have bread, Mr. Motley Patriot, if you're going to have bread, well, what are you going to put on it? Glad you asked. Well, first off, Lidl has a magnificent inventory of butter. Look at that. It's Kerrygold, pure Irish butter. Well, I've got the Irish butter. But you know what? I'll take any butter that comes from a nicely cared for cow. And I'm going to assume these guys are cared for. But the butter is, I don't know if you notice this or not, but if you can see the color of that butter, it's very yellow. If you get American butters, Land O'Lakes, it's all pretty white, and it almost looks, I'm licking my fingers, it almost looks bleached, a lot of the low quality butters. This one, however, is a nice creamy yellow butter, and part of why I was getting into this today is that, I don't know if you folks noticed, but I'm wearing my Pontiac car salesman sweater. I used to sell cars back in the early 80s, and at the DC car show, I got a Pontiac sweater, and I still have it. 38 years later, can you believe it? There's some continuity in my life, by golly. So anyway, there it is, a little bit of the old, I'll just do one, a little bit of the old Irish butter. And I have this trick, I shove my knife between the bread so as to not get too much butter in the jelly. Lidl has a wonderful organic strawberry fruit spread. Look at that. USDA organic, which means somebody paid somebody to look at it and go, yeah, it's organic to me, Mac. But anyway, it's a nice strawberry. And part of the reason I got a little distracted, but part of the reason that I wanted to talk about this today was that when you're in a rush in the morning, as opposed to stopping by one of those stores and buying a sandwich with all the hydrogenated oils and just all the wrong ingredients. I have a friend who had talked about there was a commonality among a lot of the post-cardiac care patients, and it's surrounded around fast food. So it's a good label. I'll put the ingredients in the description for the ladle, or for the bread, the Lidl label. And look at that. Strawberry, jam, preserves, butter, Irish butter, no corn syrup, a nice bread. And this makes, if you're on the go, you want to get out of the house, you get this in a cup of coffee. And I get pretty physical during the days. This works fine until lunch or even till dinner sometimes. But Lidl, loss leader, 12-grain bread, really good. Highly recommend it. A superb value. And I sound like I'm getting paid by Lidl. I'm not. I'm just a guy. I'm just a person like you folks trying to eat decent on the cheap, not spending any more than you have to. And then if you go out and you want to eat a really nice meal, you can take the time to do that, but you can eat nice meals at home too. Motley Patriot, get your feedback on.